All right, let's get right into this. We're going to look at a pretty surprising ingredient you probably have in your kitchen right now. Based on our source material, we're going to break down a method that claims it can help restore erectile function, not with a pill, but by creating the right conditions inside your body for things to work like they're supposed to. So, here's the big question we're tackling today. Could something as simple and common as baking soda actually make a difference? We're going to explore the idea that this plain white powder might help bring back that natural firmness, not by forcing something to happen, but by creating the right environment inside you for your body to just do its job. So first, we have to understand what's really going on. Why does this happen in the first place? Well, according to the source, an erection isn't just one thing. It's a whole body event. You need three key systems: your blood vessels, your hormones, and your nerves, all working together in perfect sync. And, as we get older, some changes can start to throw that perfect balance off. As the years go by, these are the main things that start to shift. Your arteries, which need to be flexible and wide open for blood to rush in, can start to get a little stiffer. Testosterone, which is the key hormone for desire and function, begins a really slow but steady decline. And even the specific muscles down there that are responsible for trapping the blood to stay firm, well, they can get weaker too. Now here's what's really interesting. Our everyday lives can actually speed these changes up. The source makes a great point that chronic stress, for example, floods your body with cortisol, and that literally constricts blood flow. A diet full of junk food can create inflammation. And not getting enough sleep, well, that's robbing your body of its prime time to make testosterone and repair itself. It's all connected. And that brings us to the proposed solution from our source: just plain old baking soda, sodium bicarbonate. The whole claim here is that it can help reset that acidic, inflamed environment that builds up in your body, and in doing so, give your systems a chance to work properly again. To really help us picture what's happening, the source uses this fantastic analogy. Imagine trying to push water through a garden hose that's gotten all stiff and kind of narrow over time. The flow is just weak, right? Well, that's the idea here. When your body is in an acidic state, it's like your blood vessels become less flexible, which slows everything down. So how exactly is this supposed to work? Well, it's a three-part approach. First, by gently making the body a little more alkaline, it can reduce inflammation, which helps those blood vessels relax and open up. Second, it helps clear out stuff like lactic acid, which means more oxygen can get to where it needs to go. And finally, it gives your kidneys a little support, which helps protect your overall hormonal balance. So how do you actually do this? This is really important. It's not about just taking a big scoop and hoping for the best. The method described in our source is all about being gentle, being precise, and most of all, being consistent. Okay, here's the practical guide, and it's a simple 4-step process. You start with warm water. Apparently, it's just easier for your body to absorb. Then, and this is key, you add just half a teaspoon. You stir it until it's totally dissolved. And finally, you sip it slowly. This isn't a shot you're taking. It's more like a calm nightly ritual. Now, the timing here is very specific. The source says to do this 30 to 45 minutes before you go to sleep. And why? Because that's supposed to line up perfectly with your body's deepest repair cycle. That's when testosterone is released, when your body is fixing itself from the day's stress. You're basically prepping the system for a night of optimal repair. And listen, this is not an overnight miracle fix. The source is very clear about that. It's a gradual process. In the first week, you might just feel like your digestion is a bit better or you're sleeping more soundly. But then, by weeks 2 and 3, that's when you might start to notice morning firmness coming back more often. The whole idea is that the improvements stack on top of each other over time. Think of the baking soda ritual as the foundation of a house. It's crucial. But to make that house really strong, you need to add the walls and the roof. And that's what these lifestyle habits are. They're the reinforcements. The source suggests a few things to really amplify the effects. Stuff like staying hydrated. That just makes sense, right? It helps blood flow. Eating foods like beets or spinach, those can boost nitric oxide, which is fantastic for relaxing blood vessels. Eating zinc-rich foods gives your body the raw materials for testosterone. It's about combining all these small things to create one powerful strategy. Okay, let's pause here because this is, without a doubt, the most important part of this entire explainer: safety. The source is adamant that this is not something you should just jump into carelessly. Your own health and the dosage are absolutely everything. If you have high blood pressure or any kidney issues, you have to be super careful because of the sodium. And if your doctor has you on a low sodium diet for any reason, this is a non-starter without their okay. The bottom line from the source couldn't be clearer. Talk to a medical professional before you even think about trying this. Seriously. And here it is. This is the single most critical detail in the entire method. The dose is just half a teaspoon per day. That's it. Never more. You know, it's so easy for us to fall into that more is better trap. We think, hey, if a little is good, a lot must be amazing, right? Well, the source warns that's the absolute wrong way to think here. Taking more will not get you faster results. All it does is increase your risk of side effects, like an upset stomach or bloating. Think of it as a gentle nudge for your system, not a heavy shove. So let's tie this all together. The real core message from our source material is actually one of hope. It's this idea that age doesn't have to mean your body is broken. It suggests that by creating the right internal environment, less inflammation, better circulation, your body still has that incredible ability to adapt and get back to working the way it should. And that really leaves us with this final thought. What if the key to getting back some of that vitality isn't some complex, expensive prescription? What if instead it all hinges on a small, simple, and consistent change you make every night? It's a pretty powerful idea about resetting the body's natural balance.